What's up, guys and gals? My name is Splattercat, and we're here today playing another episode of Cyanide Studios' fantastically underrated RPG, Aarklash Legacy. Really one of the fumbled gems of this year, in my opinion. In the last episode, we had managed to work our way through this first little area in the Vault of the Goldmongers, and we found our way home, but it seems like just about everybody is dead. In fact, the few people that are remaining are being eaten by little gify piles of maggots, which doesn't seem to be the best way to go. But let's go ahead and actually, I don't think they actually went that way. That's probably just kind of a side effect. The maggots, it's all part of the natural process, the circle of life and all that. If you're gonna hold the baby lion up over the mountain, you have to accept the maggots too, especially if you're gonna sing the song. Alright, so a little bit of a cutscene there, but nothing. Looks like we have a rare warrior of Belial, a bard of Alahan, couple other things that I'm not really sure about, but let's go ahead and bring her off this way. We have a black paladin. I would prefer to drag somebody around a corner if I can. Let's go ahead and put Wendaroo over here and take a quick look at what else we have coming down the pipe. And the pipe is looking quite crowded. In fact, we may have to get the snake out to clear this clog. Maybe get some little hookedy barbs down in there. We have a Quaester, we have two bards, and a black paladin. Now the bards, one more time, I've got to refresh my memory. I think they just cast the same thing that the skellies do. Yeah. Alright, well, let's see if we can get everybody drawn back around here. And once they're in position, we can actually sort of begin to nuke a little bit better. In fact, it may be a tad more effective if we line everybody up on this side that's going to be nuking so that we can hit everybody. Now, is Nella back up? No, she is still down. So let's start. I guess I'm going to nuke with Lecky G first. So Lecky G just got a little bit of damage out. And then I think I'm also going to throw out a Celestial Blow over here from Nella. Now, Lek Loris does have aggro right now from this guy. But there's a tad more damage. We've got a skeletal archer right there. Naka is back up, so let's get her going with M65. And then we're also going to drop her taunt. And so there it is. She should be pretty much rooted to the ground now. We're going to wait for Lek Loris' next nuke to be back up, which should be there. And now that it's back in play, we're going to throw ourselves out another little bit of AoE. Oh, and there's something headed towards me. Oh, and unfortunately I didn't make it. Alright then, that means that Nella's next move is going to have to be a heal going to Lek Loris. Which means I should probably throw out Majestic Star now. And right after that, we'll Sacred Feast Nella. So there we are. At least we got something out of that. So she's back up to full health, which is always nice. As soon as his AoE is back in play, we'll think about maybe focusing on the Bard of Alahan really quickly. Nourishing Prey I don't think we're going to need just yet. I could just nuke like crazy right now. We'll see what happens. Alright, so let's throw out another nuke to the center of their ranks. And then I think I'll also throw out another lightning bolt. I think I am going to go all in with the DPS. And then now what I need is for you two to focus on the Quaester. Hopefully keeping him from regenerating, or he can't heal himself, never mind. I was worried he'd heal himself, but I don't think he actually can. I think he's incapable. Let's throw another AoE down into the center of that little regiment right there, and then get another heal going. And so down go the next little blob o' mobs. Hopefully giving a sob as they fall into a glob. And it was a job to slay them. There we are. So I've completed my poetic diatribe. I just can't let it go at 2 rhymes. For some reason, one rhyme begs the next. That, or maybe I'm just inherently, like, obnoxious. I'm not really positive. I may just have a natural knack for obnoxious rhyming. It's the halfling deep inside of me. It really is. And in my head, I just got like, the second you say there's a halfling deep inside of me, you get the mental image, you're just like, oh no, there's so many furry toes. And these guys, is he all immuned up right now? Let's have a look here. Yep, he is completely and totally immune, so as soon as that falls off, we'll get back to it. There we are. Let's throw out another little, I guess, floaty green farty ball.
Many bodies, but no friends.
I sense as you, Nella. Not all is right here.
Nothing has been right for days.
Where are the others? This does not make sense.
Hopefully the other wheel swords await us with the patrons, and we are just late to the party.
And that, lass, is one thing I'm never late for.
Oh, stereotypically Scottish dwarf. You're so charming when you're ready for alcoholism. That's a pretty substantial pile of bones off to the side there. I mean, as far as decorating goes, that must have taken forever and a bunch of wheelbarrows to accomplish. Maybe a backhoe. I don't know. Maybe a Big Joe or something. Alright, so we're back. I had to make a small cut right there, and I'll explain to you why. I was walking down the hallway. I did about 10 minutes of fight after this, and I was walking down a hallway after killing the mobs, and the game just spontaneously said, "Game over," and sent me back right in the middle of filming an episode. And I'm going to assume it was a bug, because I have no idea. I was talking, just moving down the hallway, and game over. Even though every single member of my party member was, like, my entire party, full health, standing in the middle of an aisle. Game over. Who knows? I have no idea what happened right there, but if it happens again, that actually is going to be a very huge damper on completing this game properly. If that just starts cropping up randomly, big problem right there. Now we have a pull over here, and this pull is deceptively large, having seen it already because I cleared it already, and then the game died on me. There's like 5 more mobs right here, and they're all heroic. You see this little aura around? It's easy to forget that that little aura means that they are heroic, and they're actually like badass elite versions of the mobs. So what we're going to do now is we're going to pull as few as possible, and we do have a Black Priest in here, and the big problem that this is going to cause is that the Black Priest locks out healing on a character. That's really bad, and it can turn this into a tankless fight pretty rapidly. So what I'd prefer to do right now is we're going to drop her taunt right there so that these guys don't have the opportunity to get anything else going, and we're going to start nuking as quickly as possible. So let's start the first round of nukes. But instead, the other thing that I'd like to do is drop her out of the remainder of her taunt and have her fall back. Now, she should have pretty solid aggro on the rest of these guys in the back. She's not going to have, like, perfect aggro, but what's going to happen is this Black Priest is almost assuredly going to drop that ability that locks out healing. That's a bit of a pain, and we are going to have to deal with that in due time, and it does last a really long time, which makes it even more obnoxious because the duration, I think, is like 10 seconds. Let's have a look here. It's a long duration. Reverses healing effects received by 10 seconds. So yeah, 10 seconds without healing for a tank is terrifying. We're going to have to get her moving because we've got some AoEs on their way in. And she can't take any damage right now. If she takes any damage in the next little bit, while her healing is completely and totally blocked... Oh, her healing is not blocked yet. So hopefully he'll get on course and start dropping those spells shortly. Lekloris, I'm going to need him over here to start throwing nukes into the center of that group. Nella's taunted, so we're going to have to wait for her to get going with the remainder of her abilities. I'm actually going to start her regeneration really quickly before she gets locked out of her healing. And let's throw a damage spell over there, just to put everybody on notice. Oh, and we've got another ability headed out, and that did nick Nella. I can't move her because she's taunted. She's not really useful to me right now. Is she locked out of her healing yet? She is. Okay, so what's going to happen now is we're actually going to go full-on retreat until that healing debuff drops. So I want everybody out of here. As soon as Nella comes out of that taunt as well, life will be a tad easier. And we're just going to do a big ol' retreat. Alright, so there it is. I want her right there, and then what we'll do is the second she stops, we'll put a healing star on her, and we'll get her started with the taunting one more time, but her category is blocked. That leads me to believe that I should probably drop a nuke back here with Nella. Let's circumnavigate this line. And once again, where is that priest going to stop? Right there. Okay. So there's a bit more damage. Naka's taking quite a bit of actual damage. I don't know if I'm going to get this heal off or not. She is sinking a lot of damage. Oh, and actually, she's taunted again. They're doing a pretty good job of locking out my healers right now. Which means that actually is Wendaru. Oh, Wendaru's back in. Never mind. Well, maybe we could... Oh, we did. We saved her. Cool. So Naka's now saved. but Nella is taking some damage at range. And as soon as Lek Loris is back in here, where's that skeleton mage firing to? He's firing on Naka. Let's drop out of that taunt. Can I not drop out while it's locked out either? And as soon as we're out of there... Yeah, it's blocked. So you can't drop your taunt either. That's kind of an interesting problem as well. But what I'll do is once Lek Loris is back in, we'll throw that through there. There goes another mob. Let me... I think I have time for another... Oh, I don't. I think we're about to lose Naka, actually. That's going to do 500 from what I remember. Although there's only 2 mobs back up. So she may survive it. She did. So let's start a heal really quickly. Oh, and that's going to hit both of them. That was a really well orchestrated shot, actually. And I'm going to have to lose somebody right here. I have to choose who. Since it doesn't really matter if Naka goes down, I'm actually going to heal Nella really quickly. So there it is. We lost somebody, but not too big of a letdown. On the back half, I'm going to make sure we're focusing on the Black Paladin. Actually, focus on the mage. The Black Paladin's going to go immune anyways. And this mage is a comparably... Oh, it's... Okay.
I've got you.
Let's go ahead and get her out of there. Alright, so we're good there. Hoping and praying right now really hard that whatever that bug was that got me before does not reoccur. Wendaru's health's looking a little low. Throw maybe some damage right there. Yeah, that's what I figured. The delay on those casts is such a letdown most of the time. Because even though it says that it has no cooldown right there, like, it says that it's an instant cast, it's not actually an instant cast. There's really kind of an inherent, like, 1 second cast time included right there that you just have to learn to deal with. Wendaru's gonna run around in circles.
Heal this friend.
Don't move.
And let me actually make sure that we get her back up. I don't really know what happens when that timer runs out, and I'd rather not risk it.
Shall never fall.
Well, you said you'll never fall, but honestly, you've fallen quite a bit. The tank is my #1 person to drop, unfortunately. And so the Black Paladin should be down. Come on. And that regeneration is so obnoxious. There we go. So we've got a bunch of units down, no gear dropped from what I can tell. Which for a group full of heroics or a group full of elites, the lack of healing that has just been, or the lack of items that have just been given to us, kind of a letdown. I feel like I probably should have got something out of that. But let's continue on our way. Door's not going to open for us. Looks like there's going to be another lever puzzle down in there. This door is open, so I suppose we'll continue. Looks like we've got another way up. My guess is that's going to take us to the other spot that we were in before. Let's head on into this large, somewhat threatening-looking room. Anytime they give me one of these large rectangular rhombic rooms, I start getting just terrified that there's going to be a boss around. Looks like we've got a freebie gargoyle there, a quaester, an archer, another archer. No freebie treasure ever. And I believe what I'll do is let's get in here with the quaester. And as soon as she's in position, we're actually going to taunt as many of these guys as we can. Nella's going to throw out the first heal just while everybody else gets into position. To kind of make this fight go a little bit smoother later on. And there goes her first heal. Now that she's locked down, we're going to put her into regeneration mode. And I think I'm going to have everybody focus on the quaester for now. Looks like we do have a horror coming up from behind us. Some of those additive problems that you're never ready for. Lek Loris and everybody else focus on that archer in the back just to limit the amount of DPS we have incoming. The archer is regenerating somehow. Let me make sure she doesn't have any debuffs that lock out healing. She doesn't. Those ghastly priests, or those evil priest paladin things, have made me very, very nervous. Okay, so we have one archer down. And everything else is looking pretty much square. He's going to start popping off abilities, though. They're going to force us to move around. We throw out another little bit of DPS. And that is going to hit everyone. Let's continue, actually. I'm going to move her out of the way in case he explodes on this go. I was hoping that would jump over to there. I'm going to get Wendaru into position so that she can throw out another star. There it is. And then I need everybody Yeah, let's kill off that skeleton, and then we're going to kill off the Quaster. Now that the Quaster's down, we definitely don't want to focus on the horrors, because actually, the... What's that right there? Distortion of the Soul. That's going to knock her down. Let's get her out of her taunt. And now that she's out, didn't make it in time. I was worried that might occur, but that's okay because it sets me up to do a little drain chain right here. So let's drain thrice. And hopefully that heal will keep us nice and clear. Now what is he doing right now? He is converting healing. Okay, so nobody wants to hit him right now. Let's go ahead and back off for just a moment. And... Is that actually... It immunizes against control effects. Okay. Naka's taking damage more than I'd like to see Naka taking. Especially with that spiky nuke that's on its way in. Let's give Naka some lovin' really quickly. And then we'll actually help her love herself. Which sounds a bit more disgusting than it actually is. And he should self-destruct very shortly. There it is. The remainder... Oop, I misclicked right there. And the remainder should be able to focus on this guy. Let's actually swap Naka to the other side of the Gargoyle, just in case he blows up in a terrifying manner that does a little bit more damage than I'd like. Got it out of the way of that AoE there. And then auto attack should bring this one home. I don't really feel the need to rush it or push it out. I don't feel the need to squeeze, basically. And then let's lay down the nukes to finish him off.
What would you do without me?
Cool. Well, what I do without you, probably heal a lot less effectively. We already tempted that demon right there when we had Mocha. An Earring of Freedom on the other side of that door, which is weird. I don't know if that was a bug or if it fell through the world or how that occurred, but we got ourselves a little bit of extra treasure. Let's consider going up the ramp over here, and once we're up the ramp, we should be absolutely happy and back on the first floor, which was way less scary than the second floor. And one more load screen before we find out what's going to happen. Maybe we'll get ourselves into a boss fight on the opposite end. Anything? Well, where did that pop us out? Let's have a look at our map here. That allowed us to escape. Got a door right there. Let's take it a little slow for now. Oh, we got a patrol. So let's take our strategy as we always do. Pulling around a corner. We've got a heroic Ira Tenebrae and a couple Black Priests. That means healing is going to be off the roster. Oh, we've got a couple more guys back in there too. A Flesh Spectre. Couple of archers, but comparatively not anything close to as bad as what we saw earlier. And so the goal now is to put her right there, have her taunt. Let's have Windaroo over here. And that's going to lock everybody else out of their applicable abilities. Lekloris is going to send one right down the pipe. And we want to make sure that we pay attention to Naka, because the moment she's not able to heal, we need to drop her out of that taunt and have her run circles one more time. The other important part of this equation is that we really want to get some damage rolling, because there is a lot of healing on the table right now. So she is now blocked out of escaping, which means we've got to heal through this corruption zone. Little weak. And if combined with her healing reduced, that's going to be a big problem. So she may go down right here. I don't know if she's going to make it. We're kind of tempting the fates as it stands right now. The first Black Priest, let's at least make sure that we've done some kind of cumulative damage to somebody in their group. Okay, so Naka can now drop. And is she still debuffed to the point where she can't... Oh no, she's good. She's magical. Fantastic. Then let's throw out her first star of healing. There it is. And Nella's ready to go with another lightning bolt, so let's start with that, and then we'll also... Oh no, that Ira Tenebrae made a run on our back line. He drains mana. And so I really, really, really need her to pick up the aggro, although her taunt has a long time before it's back up and out. Lekloris is my main nuker, unfortunately. Got a Flesh Spectre back up in there. Well, let's get this Ira Tenebrae off the grid then. We have no choice. Alas, Lecky G has no mana. And as soon as that's ready to go, maybe start kind of... Oh, we've actually got a... Okay, let's bring line of sight out of the equation. Keep Lekloris moving. And as soon as hers is back up, yeah, let's get her down here. And taunt, and then we'll drag Lekloris across the circle. And there it is. So Lekloris is back in business. Let's get started with Nella with a little bit of damage there. And I think I'm going to have Wendaru come up and heal Lecky G before he writes a rap about being wounded. Okay, so there's a bit more. Let's focus on all of these guys, actually, and see what we can get out of the way. She should be ready to go with her own regeneration, which should carry her through, I would hope. Maybe not. Let's throw another heal on her, just in case. Lekloris regenerates very, very quickly, which means I should be able to put pressure... Yeah, I should be able to put some pressure on the Flesh Spectre. I mean, not as much pressure as I would like, obviously. Its health pool is bolstered by the fact that it's a heroic Flesh Spectre. We've got another... So let's drop her out of that, because we've absolutely got another Corruption Zone headed for us. If I can get everybody out of the way. Nella's going to throw out another Lightning Bolt. Lecky G, let's get you off to the side. Throw out another Banish Blow. And still, we haven't been able to kill that thing. The amount of HP that thing has is incredibly impressive. And I managed to lose Naka in the process, too, by not paying attention. Let's get Nella going on a heal right there.
Forget your hands and fight on.
There's no point draining her just yet. But I do need to keep her up to heal right here. So unfortunately, I have to do this kind of the brick to the face way in order to get it to work. Everybody should be back up now. Let's get out of the Corruption Zone very, very quickly. And God, that Flesh Spectre just will not go. Oh, and he blew up on me too. Jerk. Let's get her regenerating. And then get her taunting. And then we'll get Wendaru up. Heal Naka in the process. And this is probably my fault for telling them that this fight didn't look quite as bad from my perspective. In fact, I would guarantee this is probably my fault. So we're going to get as many drains going on Nella as possible. Wendaru's got a bit more mana to play with. And then we'll finally start throwing out some of these nukes. I probably could have feared somebody right there to make my life a little bit easier. I do have abilities to play with. He's going to vanish now. That's okay, though. Because it means as soon as she's got 100, I'm going to throw that out to there. Wendaru's going to drain again. And now our party's looking much more robust. The final little bits of DPS. We should be able to put this one in the bag. I mean... Honestly, this is coming out a lot more it's more problematic. I'm having problems even thinking and commentating right now because that turned out to be far more complicated than I expected, although that's probably due to Naka going down, unfortunately. Let's get her on out of there. And we should be looking good now. I don't see anything... Oh, that door is now open. Okay, well, let's get in here on this switch puzzle. And as soon as we've got the switch puzzle going... Where are my indicators? Let's have a look at this puzzle, and I'll probably start it in the next episode, unless I really feel like I can fire it out right now. So we've got a circle and a X. So with the first one, obviously we're going to go the lower half of the circle, upper half of the circle, and then we can make an X with the 2 slashes, so it's just a cross slash. So let's do that. Lekloris, be selected. Alright, so that first one's handled. Let's flip the second switch now. And we need to do... what looks like sort of 2 of these. Is that showing what I have right now, or is the target like up there? Hold on. I'm confused. I need to like sit here and watch and figure out what's happening. Because I feel like that one just changed when I flipped the switches. So I don't know if that's my current configuration or what's going on here. Let me try this one more time. Do the switches... Oh, the switches are staying flipped. Okay, that's the problem. So let's reset everything to default. Now, we have to go there. There. And I realize I just did that in a completely inefficient way. Oh, they're actually positioned differently, too. That one's... Okay, that one's center. There we are. So that first one should be good. Now for the second. Interesting. So do we have another lower circle, or like how is this gonna work? Strangely enough, if I undo that one, it undoes it right there. So I have to redo it. I see. Well, the X is the common factor there, which leads me to believe I should probably set up all of these eyelashes in their own way, and then do the X last, because this one doesn't have a circle involved, so you're looking for the common element. The common element here seems to be... Yeah. Let's
Why are we
take the
wasting our
top
time?
aspect now. Although we only have one top circle, unfortunately. Oh, it's additive. Never mind. That shouldn't be bad then. This should all turn out perfectly. I kind of get how it's functioning. I just had to look at it for just a minute. Now that we're on the third one, we want to look at... So those are going to cause a problem with the third one. Maybe. Let's find out. And what is this fourth one right here? What is... There's not even four... I'm a little weirded out at the moment. Like, I know how... I'm understanding how it works right now. But like, for example, it's no longer adding to that one, but it's adding to this one. So there's little stipulations that I haven't ironed out quite yet. Basically, still kind of fiddling with the puzzle, learning how it works. Let's find out what this button does before I go any further. That button appears to do... I don't know what the hell that button does. Strange. So now it's removing from right there. And is there like a... I guess there's not a reset. I just kind of undo the whole thing. So what I'm going to do... I'm going to do this one off camera because I don't feel like I'm going to be able to do this in any timely sort of manner. Especially since I'm just trying to figure out how the puzzle works right now. Like, it seems like there's little rules and things for each layer, and it kind of switches from one side to the other. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to break off the episode right here. I'm going to solve it off camera, and then I will see you guys next time. So my name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here in the Nerd Castle. Take care out there, everybody, and I will see you next time.